Resistance is one of those things that we're going to keep encountering day in and day out until we find a way to handle it and deal with it. Whether it's resistance towards finishing your work or studying or working out or even just taking 15 minutes to read or meditate. We just somehow keep experiencing this pressure that's like, I can't do it. I don't want to. I don't feel like it. And the common self-help advice is that you should just do it anyway. No matter how you feel, whether you feel great or you feel terrible, just do what you need to do. Just plow through, work, do what you need to do, forget about your emotions, forget about how you feel, forget about what you think, and just do what you need to do. And that philosophy can actually serve you for a really long time. If you're the type of person that's not taking action in your life, if you're just lazing around, you're not making any progress towards your goals, you're not even setting goals, then yes, it would be a good idea to sit down and do the work, hustle, grind. And it's important that you realize the value of getting things done. It's a big deal. If you want to make progress and you want to actually achieve something and accomplish something, you can't just keep procrastinating and allow resistance to defeat you time and time again. However, there is a fairly effortless way to move past resistance, and it doesn't have to be so tense and horrible all the time. Because the most important thing to recognize is that resistance, just like most of the experiences that we have, is based emotionally. It's not some logical thing. It's not like, I need to go work out. But logically, it's raining outside, and thereby it means that I cannot go because I am made of sugar, and if I go out there, I will melt. Of course not, right? It's something emotional. Oh God, it's raining, I don't want to, I don't like that, and then my clothes are going to get wet, and you start whining, coming up with excuses. So if you realize that it's not logical, then you have to understand that you can't convince yourself logically. Because what most people do when they feel resistance is they try to tell themselves why they need to go do the thing. So, I haven't finished my homework, but if I don't finish it, then, the teacher, and I'm gonna get an F, and then I'll never get a job, and that's a great logical explanation. But the feeling is, I don't want to do it. There's something tense going on here. There's resistance going on here, and trying to convince yourself, trying to justify to yourself why you need to do the thing is never going to get you up off your ass and into action. Here's what you do instead. Recognize what's coming up. See the emotion, become aware of it, become present to it, and actually allow it to play out. Actually recognize what's going on in there and listen to it. I don't want to do my homework. Or I don't want to go to the gym. It's raining outside. Well, why is that bad? Why is that going to keep me from going out there and, having a great workout? Why should that stop me? Well, I don't like the rain because then I'll get cold. And remember last time I ran in the rain and I got sick. I got sick and it was horrible. And, for a week I was just laying in bed. I felt like shit. It was not worth it. I'm not going out there. That's the emotion talking now. That's not your logical mind. Now you can see that actually it kind of makes sense. Because your emotions aren't just something that pop out of nowhere, like random waves just hitting you and smacking you across the face time and time again. They're usually rooted in something rational. It's just that you can't see that when they first come up. So when you recognize that, it's because of that experience. Well, now, if you want to explain to yourself how it's going to be okay, it's a lot easier because you know what you're actually dealing with. If you want to jump in with logic now, it's actually going to work instead of just throwing shit at the wall and hoping that it sticks. Now you know the root cause, you know what's actually going on in you. Much easier to make some progress. And so we take that example and we move forward. All right, well, that experience that happened, I understand why I wouldn't want to go outside. I understand why I wouldn't want to move forward. I understand why I'm experiencing this resistance now. It makes sense to me. It actually is quite reasonable that I'm feeling this way. However, I know that if I now go outside, I'm gonna put on some more clothes, I'm gonna take care of myself, and I'm not going to get sick this time because I'm taking precautions and I've learned from my past experience. And instead of letting it stop me and hold me back from doing what I want to and need to do, Instead, I can use it as a reminder because it's trying to teach me something, and then I can go do what I need to do anyway, and in fact, I'll do it even better because of that past experience, and this time, you won't go out running in the rain and get sick. Pretty amazing, pretty simple, but it works. And the reason is because when you experience resistance, the tendency is to just shove it right back down and say, let's go anyway, or you feel the resistance and you go, well, time to distract myself. Feeling resistance, feeling bad. We all know what that means. Time to go do something else. But if you meet it head on and you allow space for it to breathe and you read into it and you understand what's going on and you have some self-awareness and some self-compassion, just being reasonable with yourself, listening to what's going on under there, in your body, in your mind. What are the thoughts? What are the emotions? What's coming up? And then you realize that there's some truth to them, there's some value in them. Now you can move past it because you know what's actually happening. If you don't know what the actual problem is, saying, let's just go anyway might not work. You might get something along the lines of, not working. I'm not going, nope. You might tense up. Maybe you'll even have a panic attack, who knows? Anxiety, right? All this stuff just starts coming up to tell you that there's something unresolved in here. But when you listen to yourself, you allow for the emotion, you allow for the resistance to come up, and then you deal with it properly, you actually take care of it, you actually handle it, and you put it to rest. Now moving forward is effortless, there's no more resistance, and actually, you know what? In fact, you learned something and you're better off because that experience, that emotion did have value and it was bringing up something reasonable. It's just that maybe before you weren't taking the time because you thought that you were just being a little insert word here, right? But now that you really see yourself and you really see what's going on, you understand that it's reasonable, you understand what's actually happening in there. And it's that much easier to make sense of it. And it's that much easier to finally move forward.